Well, it's officially over. After coming up to the Eagles and honestly giving them a heck of a shot, the Packers kept this game close mainly because of the offense actually did stuff, but the defense was not able to. The Packers are losing the game against the Eagles. The final score is probably gonna be 40-33. I'm recording this for like 50 seconds left in the game, but Eagles got a first down. No timeouts left for the Packers. Packers going to lose. And the reason why the Packers lost this game was because they gave up 500 yards of total offense, 363 yards rushing. That's the reason why the Packers lost this game, was because they couldn't stop the run. Between Jalen Hurts on QB scrambles and design runs, and guys like Miles Sanders they had two guys hit over almost 150 yards rushing. Absolutely insane. And on top of that, the Packers had quite a few injuries happen this game. Safety Darnell Savage went out of the game early with an injury, did not return to the game. Jair Alexander got hurt for a bit. And the big news is that Aaron Rodgers left the game with an oblique injury and did not return. Now, I don't know the actual status of Rodgers and how he is doing at the moment. We will find more throughout the week. But it has very causing concern. And if it's kind of a long-term thing, you might as well consider him shut down for the year and see what we have in Love if it's a major injury, because this season now is over. We're not making the playoffs. And it's just not the Packers' year. So if we go look at scoring plays throughout the game, we'll start with in the first quarter. The Eagles got off to a quick start with a Kenneth Gainwell 4-yard touchdown run to make it 7-0. And then a little bit while later, Miles Sanders had a 15-yard touchdown run, but an extra point missed, made it a 13-0 game after an Aaron Rodgers interception. And then at 6:51, A.J. Dillon had one of his best games of the year, and he had a 20-yard long rushing touchdown to make it 13-7. Eagles ahead of the Packers. And then later on in the first quarter, Aaron Rodgers hit Randall Cobb for an 11-yard touchdown pass to make it 14-13, Green Bay ahead. And then at the beginning of the second quarter, Miles Sanders rushed for a 2-yard touchdown to give it a 20-14 Philadelphia lead. Aaron Rodgers had hit an absolute dime to Aaron Jones for 23 yards to tie the game up at 20-20. And then with 19 seconds left in the half, Jalen Hurts hit Quez Watkins for a 30-yard touchdown to get the score at halftime of 27-20. Then in the third quarter, Jalen Hurts passed to A.J. Brown for a 6-yard touchdown to make it a 34-20 Philadelphia lead. And then Mason Crosby kicked a 29-yard field goal. That's all scoring in the third quarter. In the fourth quarter, Jake Elliott hit a 31-yard field goal to make it 37-23 Philadelphia. The Packers able to pull within 7 after Jordan Love, coming in for the injured Aaron Rodgers, hit Christian Watson for a 63-yard touchdown to make it 30-37. Watson is really starting to come on late in the year. And then he had 2 field goal exchanges with Jake Elliott and Mason Crosby to get to the final score of 40-33. And the one thing that you can be happy about is that our offense was able to rush the ball and able to move the ball down the field. This is our best offensive performance of the year, except for a few things here and there that were not good. Aaron Rodgers went 11 for 16 for 140 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions that were really bad, both in the first half, and 3 sacks given up against him. And then Jordan Love came in and actually showed some signs. He went 6 for 9 for 113 yards and threw that 1 touchdown to Christian Watson. On the ground, A.J. Dillon had 8 rushes for 64 yards and a touchdown. Aaron Jones had 12 for 43 for an average of 3.6. No touchdowns on the ground. But Aaron Jones did his damage in the air, having 3 receptions for 56 yards and a touchdown. And then Christian Watson again showing that potential that he had when we took him in the second round of the draft. 4 receptions for 110 yards and that long touchdown catch. Robert Tunyon had 3 catches for 20 yards. Randall Cobb had 2 for 19 and a touchdown. And Alan Lazard had 2 for 24. Mason Crosby went 2 for 2 from field goals and 3 for extra points. The defense, there was a couple of good plays in the overall pile of crap they did. We did manage to get 2 sacks on Jalen Hurts, with Preston Smith and Jerron Reed each getting half a sack, and Justin Hollins, our new waiver wire pickup from the LA Rams, getting a sack in his first game for the Packers. And Quay Walker, after Rudy Ford stripped the ball out of the A.J. Brown, Quay Walker had a 63-yard return that gave the Packers prime field position. But other than that, the defense did not do good. And that is evident in the run defense. Like, we got no push against the run. They were able to run all over us. But one more thing I want to highlight is Keyshawn Nixon. Absolutely awesome as our kick returner. Had 5 kick returns for an average of 34.4 yards and a long of 53 yards. He should have been our kick returner from the beginning. So, and then the Eagles, Jalen Hurts didn't have to do much in the air. Had 16 attempts for 28 yards for 16 and 28 for 153 yards. 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. He actually had more yards on the ground than he did in the air, with 157 yards rushing. Absolutely insane. Miles Sanders had 143 yards and 2 touchdowns. Kenneth Gainwell had 39 yards and a touchdown. And Boston Scott had 24 yards rushing. Devontae Smith had 4 receptions for 50 yards. A.J. Brown, 4 for 36 yards, a touchdown, and that fumble that was recovered by the Packers. And Quay Watkins had 3 for 35 and a touchdown. Defensive-wise, they were able to get 3 sacks. Brandon Graham and Hassan Reddick each got a half sack. Then Fletcher Cox and Josh Sweat each had a sack. And Josiah Scott and Reed Blankenship both had interceptions against Aaron Rodgers. And like I said earlier, we just could not stop the run. That is the main reason why we lost this game. Because I'm honestly kind of impressed that we managed to score 33 points. Like, that is saying something for our offense, that we scored 33 points. And you can tell that we were able to move the ball against this Eagles defense. It's just now, the one time that our offense was playing good, our defense did not do anything. And I would not be surprised if Joe Barry is fired at the end of this year. So, the Packers season is now officially over. And it's just, we just got to see what development we can get out of the young guys for the remainder of the year. Because now it looks like Rodgers might be out for a while and Jordan Love is going to be put in. And I hope he does good, but you just never know in this line of business. Well, let me know what you guys think about the Packers losing to the Eagles. Let me know down in the comments. And yeah, it's just not been a good year to be a Packers fan, but we kind of had it coming for a while.